Hi, my name is Shripti and I'm in team number 4. Today we are going to talk about EB5 Regional Center. EB5 program was created by Congress to stimulate the economy of the United States, where foreign investors can invest in U.S. businesses and create 10 full-time jobs as a requirement. So who we are? We are a regional center serving the Appalachian area, focusing on offering secure investment in energy and energy-related industry. We also assist in international investors in receiving lawful permanent U.S. residency. Our main mission is to identify, develop, and manage projects related to energy industry. Our future and long-term vision is to promote economic growth in the Appalachian area. For more information, please visit our website. Why choose ABC Incorporation? Our regional center would be a perfect fit for investors who are looking for flexibility, low investment risk, and higher quality services. To ensure corporate sustainability, we have adopted variety-based strategic positioning. We are not putting all our eggs in one basket rather than looking for sub-industries under energy industry. Those sub-industries are exploration and production of shale gas, mobile services for safety product distribution, and trucking and logistics.
My name is Tyler Ray, and I'd like to talk to you about why to invest in shale gas in the Appalachian region. The Marcellus Shale has over 50 trillion cubic feet of recoverable gas. It also boasts for the United States the third largest shale gas reserve behind only China and Argentina. In addition to the Marcellus Shale, the Appalachian region also includes shale plays such as the Utica and Upper Devonian shales. Economic growth is expected to be tremendous. Shale gas is expected to grow over 50% domestic supply by 2040. While gas prices are low right now, the World Bank expects them to go to over $5.30. This should provide tremendous economic value to any investor. We would also like to increase job opportunity in the region. There are currently 150,000 jobs in the Appalachian region based on the energy industry, and this is expected to grow. Please take a few moments to review this slide. Number 1 is Panther Energy. The industry is located in the oil and gas region, specifically the exploration and production of shale gas. We propose drilling and completing 4 exploration wells on 2 pads in Fayette County, Pennsylvania. We'd like to evaluate the reservoir and then drill and complete 16 additional wells. Shale gas development has yielded high economic returns for low-cost operators in the region. It's also created thousands of jobs in the region, and this is specifically why we would like to drill and complete wells in Fayette County, Pennsylvania. Our implementation plan is in 2 phases. The first phase is to construct 2 pads, as I mentioned, in Fayette County, Pennsylvania, drill 2 horizontal wells in the Marcellus Shale, frac the pad, perform well tests, evaluate the reservoir, and begin production until the development phase starts. Once the development phase starts, we'll plug and abandon the 4 previously drilled wells and drill and complete the remaining 8 wells on each pad. Once all the wells have been drilled and completed, we'll begin production. The original cycle with an exploration phase will take about 8 months. The second phase should take an additional 8 months. The competitive advantages we see in this plan lie in economies of scale, low costs, and learning curves to help lower the risk and increase efficiency in the exploration and development phase of our program. The economic summary consists of 2 parts. The exploration phase, which will require investors to provide $34 million worth of capital, and the development phase, which will require investors to input $72 million of capital. Net present value on our project is at $17 million with a rate of return of 17%. We expect payout to be 3 to 4 years, depending on how long our development exploration phase takes. The employment opportunities are 10 to 15 direct jobs, including a project manager, geologist, engineers, and a variety of other positions. However, the Panther Energy will also supply 100 to 150 indirect jobs, including rig crews, frac crews, and a variety of service jobs.
Hello, my name is Jim Zeminski, and I'm going to explain to you sub-industry number 2, which is mobile services for safety product distribution. Our market focus will be specifically on the energy industry, OPG. The proposal that we have is to sell PPE to the industry through mobile outlets, including trailers and vending machines. We hope to initiate partnership with already established distribution channels such as Granger and Airgas. The justification of our project is that a lot of companies already have internal PPE requirements. Mobile PPE will just allow us to provide this service to these employees at their site, which will definitely provide a competitive advantage. Additionally, PPE is a high focus of government agencies such as OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration. We feel that if we are able to establish customer relationships before these are mandated, we will have the upper hand. Our implementation plan consists of utilizing customized box vehicles and vending machines on customer sites. Higher value items such as steel-toed shoes, fall protection, turnout gear, and breathing apparatus will be distributed through the safety vehicles. Vending machines will be used for the safety commodities such as hard hats, gloves, and hearing protection. Our lease program will provide a competitive advantage because it will lower our initial startup costs. Additionally, we feel that if we are able to offer complementary services such as training plans and fit testing, that will create a barrier of entry for future competitors. The partnerships, as I mentioned before, will help reduce our startup costs. We'll be able to piggyback off our ERP systems and use programs such as vendor consignment to reduce our costs of holding inventory. The economic summary for sub-industry number 2 is an initial investment of $800,000. This $800,000 is primarily for the products that we will sell. We estimate the return on investment to be $500,000 with a 15% ROR and a payback period of 3 years. The employment opportunities that will be generated by this sub-industry are roughly 2 to 5 drivers, and this depends on volume and the account size, 2 to 3 trainers on site, 1 buyer and purchaser to manage the inventory, 1 or 2 warehouse associates to distribute and load our vehicles, and then a financial associate to manage our costs.
Hi, I'm Leah Curry, and I'm going to talk to you about our third and final sub-industry that we at the EB5 Center are looking to invest in. This sub-industry is the trucking and logistics, which fits perfectly under the energy and petroleum market. So essentially, I would like to argue that trucking and logistics helps the world go around because we need energy, and we have these energy sites, and to get the oil, the petroleum, whatever it is, out of the ground and into either homes or our cars or whatever it is, we need trucks to get it from point A to point B. So this sub-industry fits perfectly under that umbrella, and it's absolutely necessary for the economy. So essentially, from a drill site, there is a lot of commodities that go to and from. I'm sure you're familiar with fracking. Fracking requires tons of wastewater to be hauled away, and so we, as the trucking and logistics portion of this energy industry, would heavily focus in that specifically, in addition to hauling away the commodities that are pulled out of the ground. So what is our implementation plan? How are we actually going to find success with the money that we're investing? Our plan is to purchase 10 trucks first. That amount of trucks will give us enough revenue to actually be profitable, but it won't be so big that we won't be able to manage it as we start to build and grow this business. In the trucking industry, relationships are extremely important, so if we can get our foot in the door on one drilling site, we will be able to haul away, build and grow a relationship with people who are managing that site. And then from that point, start to add trucks, because per drilling site, they estimate that per day, you could haul away 400 different types of loads with a truck. And if a driver does approximately 4 loads a day, that's 100 trucks. So that's the potential of where the 10 trucks could turn into 100 trucks. And the more trucks, the more money you're making, so it's all good there. So our plan would be to obviously start with 10 and then negotiate some long-term contracts that enable us to have some longevity in this space. As far as the economics on all of this, obviously our goal is to make money. The initial investment that we're looking at is about $2 million. The trucks range from about $150,000 to $200,000 each. So if we're looking to buy 10 trucks, the $2 million is probably a fair estimate as to what we need. As far as the return on our investment, the net present value is $200,000, and the rate of return is 20% with a return period of about 5 years. And obviously the goal of this is employment, right? So from this sub-industry, what do we expect as far as employees go? We think we'll be able to do about 10 to 15 drivers right off the bat with this $2 million investment. A mechanic, an administrative assistant, and a business manager, because those three last ones, the mechanic, the business manager, and the administrative assistant, those are what are going to be to keep the trucks on the road and to keep the lights on for the business, to make sure that we're getting paid and that we're paying our bills and all of that. So that is the employment opportunity with this sub-industry of trucking. Finally, this is not our goal. We do not want to exit out of these businesses, but as a safeguard for ourselves, we need an exit strategy. So a typical time frame for something like this, there are parameters that legally are set in place, and so there's investment cycles about 5 years, and there's a lot more details that go into this. Of course, with anything legal, there's a lot of paperwork and a lot of guidelines that are put in place to protect these investments, and you can read more about that on our website. There's, as I was saying, legal regulations that go into this, and when it comes to exiting an EB5 project, there is a very set framework that we have to operate under. So in order to pull out of a project, the investor must file a certain form. It's the I-829 with the government, and we have to make sure that all gets taken some time before we do move out. Some possible exit strategies that we looked at would be selling to a larger developer. There are a lot of businesses, specifically if we're looking at the trucking industry, there are a lot of bigger trucking companies that could easily absorb the 10, 15 trucks that we're going to buy, and we could make back a lot of the money that we spent. We could refinance the equipment, we could sell to individual partnerships or private equity investors, but essentially the success relies on the negotiation power if we were to decide to move away from the business. You know, if we can stick to our guns and make sure that we make back the money that we invested, it's all going to come down to us and how much negotiating power we have with that. So that's what it comes down to.
Hi, I'm Priyanka. I'm going to walk you through the risk analysis or potential restraints and the future outlook of our ABC Incorporated. Now, with every business, there's always a certain amount of risk associated with it. I'm going to talk about two in particular. The first one is the I-829. Now, this is an application that allows investors to back out of the project. This will be denied if the capital is not fully invested or jobs are not created as outlined. The second one is that the capital invested may not be returned to the investors completely. They'll either be in part or none at all. And some of the reasons could be because commercial entity does not fully become operational, or there's insufficient revenue and inability to refinance low capital reserves with which to repay investors fully. Coming to the future outlook, what do we in ABC Incorporated have to look forward to? Currently, our ABC Incorporated EB5 Regional Center is heavily dependent on energy industry, specifically the shale gas in the Appalachian region. As we grow and become more successful, we intend to diversify our investments into other industries to promote continued steady growth. In the event that we are not successful, then we intend to divest Panther Energy assets and repurpose other ventures. EB5 visa is an important tool. It brings innovation and investments to the United States. To make this process smooth, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services has suggested 3 changes, as seen here. These changes, coupled with our investment projects, aim to bring synergy to our entire process. It reduces the waiting time and provides transparency and clarification to our clients, helping them to trust us and are interested to work with us. In finality, I would like to say that ABC Incorporated has a well-defined plan to create and implement an efficient EB5, primarily investing in the energy industry centered in the Appalachian region. We will allow one to establish permanent residency with the United States, give better quality of life for the investor and their family, and also provide high return on investment. Please visit our website for detailed information on our unique activities, operational effectiveness, why you should work with us, and our strategies, because we do things differently. Thank you.